What's up, guys? What's going on? Chris here once again. And today I kind of wanted to do a little bit of, I don't know if you'd call it a vlog really, but I wanted to talk about like some of the stuff that I've been doing like in the practice room, share it with you guys, and get your thoughts on some of the things I'm going to say today. So, one of the biggest things that I deal with students is honestly when they don't seem to be showing a lot of progress, or like they should be showing more progress with given the time that they've had. I always ask them, do you have some sort of practice routine? And the answer is usually no. Or they go, I don't know what to practice in my routine. So I kind of want to talk about like some of the things that I think about with practice routines. I think there are a lot of benefits to it, but I also think there are some cons that need to be looked at and need to be addressed. So, first of all, should you have a practice routine? Well, that depends on your goals, right? If you are trying to improve on something or several somethings, because let's face facts, there's always a million and 20 things to do as a musician, no matter what instrument you play. Uh, is having a routine a good idea? Well, short answer, yes. But you have to be careful of not being too slave to your routine. It can be a little bit of a detriment if all you ever do is just your routine. You need to have like enough openness to introduce newer things that you're not good at. And that's the big thing. I think people sometimes understand that practice isn't just working on what you're good at. You're already good at it. That's just maintenance at that point. You need to do things that you're not good at. So, for example, maybe you're not that great with picking 16th notes, just for technique thing, because that's quite measurable with a metronome. Maybe you're not that great at that. Well, that's what you need to work on. You need to find the strategies that will get you from point A to point B. And I'm going to tell you right now, between those points, there are a lot of little sub markers along the way to get there. But you should always have something in there that you're really not good at and will benefit you as a player, whether that is things like actually physically playing something. Maybe your rhythm chops aren't that great, or maybe your ears aren't so good. Maybe you should try to sit down and transcribe things or play things that you hear, or sing something and then try to play it back, try to find it on the guitar. And you might find that you super suck at it at first, yes, but it's good to keep doing this, kind of just do the legwork for it, because you will get better. Your brain will start cycling things together and go, oh, great. I can get from point A to point B a lot faster. You know, it's always that saying, you have to crawl before you can walk, you have to walk before you can run. But no one said you can't eventually get like some rollerblades or a bike just to make the transition smoother. There are no shortcuts to this, but you can sort of move a little faster if you just keep on the grind with that sort of thing. Now, what I've been working on quite a bit lately has been a little bit more on the technical side of playing again. I've been spending so much time with harmony and playing over changes and playing over chord types and learning tunes and stuff like that, that I felt like my technique was starting to decline just a smidget. Now, the thing is, when these sort of things happen, when you have something that you were really good at, you're really smooth with, and you start having this sort of downward decline because you haven't been kind of hitting it for a while, it's going to be frustrating. That's going to be a thing. Totally going to be a thing. But I was finding that because I had already done all that work prior in my many years of playing things and working on those specific aspects of technique, I found that muscle memory does come back. It kicked in. My brain was like, oh yeah, we used to do that thing. Let's do that thing. And it started feeling a lot better. Now the thing is, it's like, yeah, it comes back, but sometimes certain aspects of it are a little lacking. Like my articulation isn't as great as I want it to be, or I'm tensing, and that might not come through audibly, but it annoys me enough where I'm like, I don't like that, because if I'm trying to like play something, I'm trying to improvise, or I have a solo for a song that I've written, and here comes the fast part. I don't want to tense immediately and then miss, because that tension like reduces your flexibility. So as far as something like that, that's what I've been doing and dealing with. But do I have a routine? Yeah, sure I do. As far as a routine is concerned, yes, I have a routine. There are certain things I like to just kind of nail down throughout the day. But like I said, there's so much to learn and so much that I'm not good at, that I don't want to be slave to that routine. So I always have a part of my day where I cycle in things that I'm super not good at. So, for example, maybe I'm not too good at. Again, I'm trying to think of something more technique wise. Maybe I'm feeling kind of weak with like a 3-1-3 sort of pattern on the guitar, and maybe something like this. That's just essentially playing a G major scale into a B minor arpeggio, and then keep going up the scale. If you want to think of it like that, or you can just think of it as a G major 7 arpeggio with the 9 added in. However you want to think about that. But maybe I don't feel that smooth about it, or maybe I feel like I'm executing it X amount of times out of X amount of times. So maybe I'm only doing it cleanly 4 out of 10 times or something like that. That's upsetting me. So I will sit there and I will do two things. One, I'll sit there and try to get the programming into the fingers, right? And then I'll try to kind of pick up tempo a little bit, burst in spots maybe, like kind of do this chunking method where you just kind of take pieces at a time, let your brain just kind of run those together as one unit. So maybe just the scale piece is a good place to start. All right, that's okay. It's going all right. Maybe the arpeggio part needs a little work. All right, cool. That's feeling good. And then maybe the arpeggio into that scale piece. See, like there was a weakness there. I can actually feel that because I haven't done enough of the chunking work to just get that little piece. All right, but it's okay. It's going. Nothing too crazy. And then maybe I try to just put just the ascending part of that together. See if any weaknesses pop back out again. And the other side of this too is that when I play, my guitar positioning could be different at any given moment. Most of the time, I play like this, classical position, and that's because I like how this is. So when I stand, it's about the same. But when I'm feeling lazy, I'll have the guitar sitting like this, and what that does for me, and this is my own issues, is that it causes orientation changes in the right hand. So I might be excellent at playing it like this, but not so great playing it like this. And it's such a small little silly detail, but I think it's good to kind of cover your ground, as much ground as you can with something like this. But yeah, let's say I'm just working on just the ascending. Let's see if I can do that. All right. I'm kind of chunking now. Here's the thing. What I'm worrying about the most is the startup. Because sometimes what happens is that you're trying to play this out, and it's like the hand gets a little stuck initially. But I do promise that if you kind of do stuff like this as often as you can, and I don't say to do this for long periods of time. I don't agree with practicing technique for super long periods of time. That is energy consuming, and you could literally just tire out your hands and everything. I think it's more about how often you're targeting this sort of thing. So if you can like do this for like 5 to 10 minutes, then move on to something else, and then maybe come back to it later in the day, or if you're really like gung-ho, you do this daily, you'll get more out of it than sitting here for like 5 hours doing the same thing. I don't think that's a good idea at all. I think that's a recipe for getting burnt out and also maybe hurting yourself. But something like that, if you just keep on and have these often kind of little mini practice sessions for it, you'll find that that discrepancy will slowly dwindle, and you could just you just execute as many times as you need to do it. Like basically, the saying is, don't practice something till you get it right. Practice it till you can't get it wrong. And I do prescribe to that quite a bit. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, which could be to my detriment. Could honestly be to a detriment sometimes. There's no such thing as perfect. There is literally just good enough. Move on and come back to it another time. To be honest with you, but that's just like one of the things that I've been doing. And the thing is, I'm doing it along the lower string set, but the way it feels on the up, like maybe the upper strings. I don't know. Let's try yeah, let's try these upper strings like from the D, G, and B string. Yeah, like that's okay. It's not as clear as I'd like it to be. And honestly, I think the issue is coming from the B string. It's a thinner string, so it feels a little weird. And I'm rolling here. But again, I'm just chunking and I'm just taking my time and I'm not letting myself get frustrated by it. And if it's not perfect today, that's fine. That's totally fine. It'll be better tomorrow. So yeah, these sort of things that I'm doing with the technique side of everything, I definitely noticed quite a bit of difference, and it's making me feel a lot more confident in what I'm doing and what I'm playing. Just to kind of summarize everything and wrap everything up, yeah, I do think a routine is really important. I think you should have a routine, but you should not be so locked to your routine that you don't allow yourself to bring in new things. And if there is something that you feel is sort of dwindling because you just haven't looked at it for a while, understand that when you do look at it, there will be some steps back, but you will be able to move forward much quicker because you've already put in the legwork for it. So don't let yourself get frustrated. And think of it like this: if you're busy being frustrated, you're not busy working out the problem, which to me, playing an instrument is essentially problem solving and taking a big issue and shrinking it down to a smaller, more handleable, more chunkable issue. Alrighty, so those are my thoughts on practice. I mean, I'm sure I'll think of something else later down the line, but this has sort of been my vlog on it, I suppose. Um, yeah, I got no more thoughts for today, though. I'm wiped. So I will see you guys in the next video.